Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to The Breakfast Show. Coming up in a moment, joined by the head of the Patients Association about the PM's calling on the public to engage in a national conversation about how to rebuild the NHS. Plus, we'll be joined by the senator who interrupted a speech by the King in Australia, accusing him of being a genocidalist. But first, a new movie is being produced looking into the life of the man dubbed the Lion of London Bridge, who fought off knife-wielding attackers during the 2017 terror attack. Roy Larner suffered multiple injuries as he took on the attackers in Borough Market. He's with us now, along with Dougie Brimson, who is directing and producing the movie. Hello, gentlemen. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming in. How are you now? Is everything healed?
Yeah, everything's fine now. Eventually got over it over the last few years.
Yeah, want to know more about it in a second, but let's bring in Dougie as well, if I may. Dougie, you decided that you wanted to make a movie about what Roy had done.
Yeah, I mean, I'd been approached a couple of years ago now with the idea of doing it when Roy was ready, and because he wasn't ready at that time. He hadn't fully recovered from the mental side of things, and to be fair to him, he still hasn't. And his book came out earlier this year, and when his book came out, it was, now he's ready. And we spoke again, and a couple of weeks ago we decided, let's go for it. There's so much interest in this story. The fact that we're sitting here talking to you on Sky News for an independent movie is unheard of. So, it's going to be exciting.
Tell me as much as you want to, looking back, Roy, what you remember about that night.
I remember the night. I mean, it was a nice night, evening, having a lot of busy people out. I mean, then obviously there was a terror attack with 3 people. 47 people got stabbed, 8 people got killed. It was just a night, 10 minutes of rampage that I'd probably say shouldn't happen in London at night. Luckily, I'm here, talking to you still. I was stabbed up 8 times. Over the years, it took a lot out of me. I had to do things myself, like my own counselling. I've got no compensation for it, this, that. But over the years, people come up to me saying thank you, I've saved their lives. So I've probably saved countless lives. I've just been awarded the Royal Humane Society silver medal after 7 years. I'm still up for the George Cross. But yes, it took its toll on me for about 3 years after. But yeah, it was a mad night in London. That should never have happened.
No.
Yeah.
Dougie, Roy's too bashful to say, but he saved a lot of lives, didn't he?
Yeah, they estimate he saved 30 lives that night. This is going to form the essence of the story. The background to why he never got the George Medal and still hasn't received his compensation. It's a terrible injustice. And it's been compared, not by us, to the post office scandal, and it's nowhere near on that scale, but to Roy it is, because it's happening to him and it's continuing to happen to him. And we want to explore not only what happened that night, but the aftermath of this, what is a terrible injustice at the hands of the establishment, we believe.
Is that how you feel?
Yeah, I do that. I mean, they've only showed me one little bit of CCTV. A lot of that I've had to go do myself by talking to people to find out where I ended up. I mean, I ended up where they got shot, the 3 of them, and that was a trauma in itself, watching them get shot. They nearly attacked me again, but I've never been shown the CCTV of that. I don't know why.
Do you want to see it?
I would like to. Now, I've been through like things where you go over things with the counselling. I've had to do things myself. What door did I come out of? This and that. I don't know why, even in the inquest, I was only mentioned 3 or 4 times. Now, about the 8 that died, I've come off worse. But as I say, by me getting injured so much, I've had people saying thank you, I've saved their lives, which means a lot for me.
Just remind our viewers what you did in order to save so many lives.
They came through the doors. They barged through the doors, which I think I put myself in length of them. There's 3 of them, and they started stabbing me straight away. And I just had to start fighting for my life. But it's give people time to get out the back of the restaurant, because it was like major panic in there.
He's very modest about this.
Yeah, it give people time.
What he did by confronting one, the other 2 came back to help their mates. Yeah. So he literally freed off 2 incidents at the same time, which allowed a lot of people to escape. It's quite incredible.
And I was lucky to come out there alive, myself. I mean, I saved my own life, but I saved someone else's life. But there's quite a few that, over the years, have come up to me and had a few tears. Yeah.
Do you remember your time in hospital? I'm
Oh, the
guessing you were in
hospital time,
complete
yeah.
shock, weren't you?
I was in complete shock. It was in lockdown because it was election time. I had armed guard on there. I mean, I was told over the years that I was on the ISIS terror list by people, by the counter-terrorism. But over the years, it does take its toll on you. It does eventually come through certain things. You never get through the major trauma of it all. Over the years, you try to. You have to.
How are you going to try and depict this in the movie?
We'll be brutally honest about what happened that night, and we're not going to whitewash the facts, surrounding what happened afterwards in the stuff that came out in the press about Roy. He was certainly no angel all the time, and we won't whitewash that. We have absolutely no intention of, our intention is to tell the truth about what happened, but the incident in question is going to be full on. We've described it as our Saving Private Ryan moment for the movie, and that's where we'll open.
And do you think, Roy, that might give you more trauma?
No,
Or do you think it'll give you closure?
I think it will be quite good going through it again.
Sorry if I can interrupt. There will be a lot of discussions about whether Roy should be on set when we do that, for obvious reasons, because we don't want to traumatise him, but we're going to be very careful to replicate it as accurately as we possibly can.
Yeah, I think I'd like to, as Dougie said, I'd like to give as much detail as possible as it was, what I can remember of. And
there's still gaps that you don't remember what happened?
Oh, there will be certain times, yeah. I remember knocking on an ambulance car, asking for help, and he drove away, things like that. And then I remember waking up again when the police told me to get down, and then the firing started, so I was right next to all the action when it happened afterwards. But between that time, I must have been in and out of consciousness, walking up that road, which obviously you don't remember. I'd like to have seen the CCTV, but I do remember the major things where the shooting started, which was a loud bullets right next to me.
How long did it take you to get to hospital?
That was about 5 minutes. I think we went to St Thomas's, and I do remember, because I thought I'd just been stabbed here once, and they was telling me my ear was hanging off, been stabbed in my ear, and they're pouring blood. And I do remember going over the bumps really fast. I think my ribs were broken, and yeah, I was in a major way, and he just kept holding his hand, hold on there. And I never said thank you personally to the two police officers. I tried over the years. There must be something else there, which I don't know why I couldn't say thank you personally, but I always passed the message on to them.
Yeah, maybe they want their own privacy.
Well, they got me there quick. They saved,
that's
another one
the point.
saved my life,
They saved your life, didn't they?
Which I'm grateful for, yeah.
Yeah, I often wonder what it must be like when it's just a normal, I think it was a Saturday night, wasn't it?
It was a normal Saturday.
And you were just doing
It was
your
lovely.
thing.
I remember it was a hot day that the derby was on, the Champions League football was on. I had a little fiver win on the derby, I remember it, or each way one. And I had a couple of drinks that night. And Borough Market's a nice place. It's still busy now, which is good. But, I mean, hope these things never happen again. But in the way the world is now, it is happening, isn't it?
We need more people like Roy, don't we?
Absolutely. I mean, as a veteran, in a few days' time, we'll be celebrating or remembering those who made the ultimate sacrifice, and they were all guys just like Roy.
Yeah.
And we've got very few heroes, real heroes in this country at the moment. Roy is one of those heroes, and he deserves a
It was
recognition.
nice being in hospital when I come down finally to have from the hospital, like upstairs, they finally let me down, and an old lady came up to me and said, like, thank you, meant a lot. It was good.
I'm sure. I can see that you're still traumatised by it, though, Roy.
Yeah,
so look
yeah,
after
of course.
yourself.
It'll always be.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Thank you both for coming in.
A pleasure.
Appreciate it.
You're
Come back
welcome.
and talk to us once the movie's
Absolutely,
made, won't you?
yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we'll do. Thank you, Kate.
Look after yourself.
Yeah, cheers, thank you.